What's up? What's good, y'all? It's your boy Thami T. I'm back with another video. Back in 2019, Zoocci Coke Dope dropped an album called Anxiety. Dropped an album in 2019 called Anxiety. It was an amazing project, conceptual project to be specific. But yeah, it's been, we don't really have that many like conceptual albums in SA, so you always like appreciate when someone like comes up with like a concept album. So yeah, I think that album was more mainly focused on, it's called Anxiety, so the main theme was like anxiety, dealing with like being a loner or someone who's not that social, someone who's an introvert, someone who deals with anxiety, probably even depression, all these mental issues kind of. So yeah, it was a really great album. The titling for the album supported the main theme, even the subject matter, the production and everything. That was one of the best projects that came out that year in 2019. And yeah, Zoocci Coke Dope in general is just a person that I really respect as an artist, and I respect their work. He's kind of like a perfectionist, so whenever he drops a project, it's always on point, and he pays like great attention to detail and everything. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm always down to listen to his music, and I'm always anticipating his music, and I'm always interested to hear where he is mentally in terms of his music and everything. So yeah, fast forward this year, this Friday, Zoocci Coke Dope just dropped a new project called Anxiety Plus, which is kind of like an extension or a sequel from the Anxiety. So now it's Anxiety Plus. So yeah, I'm not gonna listen to the album with you guys like I normally do with other videos, because if you didn't know, I fortunately got the privilege of listening to the album before, being part of the few people that listened to the album before it came out and before a lot of people had it. So we're kind of basically like the first people to hear it, apart from Zoocci Coke Dope and his team basically. And this happened because I was part of the people who were invited to be part of the main performance. He had a listening session 2 days before the album dropped. He had a listening session with a couple of artists from the industry and like industry people in the entertainment industry and celebrities and whatever. So the day before the actual listening session, we went there, had a rehearsal, we had the project for the first time. It was amazing. We listened to the project for the first time and then rehearsed for the main performance on the day of the listening session basically, and also went there to the second day for the actual listening session to perform on stage or whatever. Because Zoocci Coke Dope had an idea basically. Okay, before I get to that, so that's one of the main reasons why I'm not gonna listen to this album with you guys, but I'm gonna share my thoughts after listening to the album, because I've heard it multiple times already. So I'm gonna share my thoughts, and this is my after listen thoughts basically. It's not like my first time listening to this, so I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts on the album, on the project, which because it's an EP, it's not an album, with you guys after listening to the project. So I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts on the album. First of all, when I saw the cover art, there's like people surrounding Zoocci Coke Dope, and then you see him elevating out of that group of people that are surrounding Zoocci Coke Dope wearing all black. And then my first thoughts were like, oh shit, this album cover is already telling a story kind of, and telling you what to expect from the album. I saw the cover before I was even invited to be part of the main performance. I saw the cover, I'm like, oh, the last cover for Anxiety, he was within the group of people that were dressed in all black like him. So it's kind of like different versions of him. And then he was also in the middle. So he was in like a dark phase of his life. He was in a dark place because he's surrounded by people wearing black and then looking down, and he's just there with like his hand looking at the camera. but he was within the group, so which means he was in the same state as them. But then with this new album, Anxiety Plus, you see him elevating out of that same group. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, with this cover, he might be saying, or the main theme of this album is him elevating and learning to deal with the hardships or like the dark phase of his life, and then becoming a better version of himself, basically, and living the shittier versions of himself, basically. That was my assumption, because yeah, I feel like one of the main things you can use to tell a story is the cover art before the album. And then fortunately, when I got invited to be part of the main performance and bring Zoocci Coke Dope's idea to life, basically, by his creative director, shout out to Freddie Mac. When he got there, he told us that yeah, Zoocci Coke Dope had an idea and that he wants to come to life during the live performance. He kind of like reenacts the same scene as shown in the cover art, which is him elevating out of the shittier group of himself, kind of thing. So he basically confirmed that what I thought was true, and I'm like, oh shit, which means I interpreted it right, basically. But yeah, fast forward, we got to be part of the main performance, bring his idea to life, which was a great honor, because Zoocci Coke Dope, period, is one person that I respect as an artist, as a producer, and as an entertainer. So it was an honor, like, working with him and everything. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. So yeah, basically that happened, and the idea was he's gonna be in the middle, and then we kind of like surround him, and then they direct us what to do, basically. And that idea came to life. And we got to perform it and everything, which was an honor. But yeah, back to that was just like a summary of what happened in the past few days. I'm probably gonna drop like a vlog or a video covering like the 2 days that I was there, and the rehearsal and the listening session. But yeah, back to the album, Anxiety Plus. This is me giving like a non-biased review of the album. I'm not giving a biased view because I love Zoocci Coke Dope and I was there for the performance, whatever. But yeah, I remember the first time I was listening to it and then listening to certain songs. I don't know, this is one of the few albums that almost made me cry in the longest time, because I don't normally cry when I listen to music, but there's certain music that just bring out certain emotions in you, and then you end up crying or everything. But yeah, I remember the first time I listened to this, I almost shed a tear. I was on stage rehearsing and I was just looking down, and I'm like, damn, I was within the song, basically. So yeah, this is a really enjoyable album. This is an amazing album. It's well done. The production is amazing. The subject matter is amazing. The features specifically are amazing. Who was one of the features? First of all, Lift Me Up with Blxckie and Nasty C. Creative wise, that was one of the best songs from the album. It's definitely one of my favorites. But also the Overture, like the introduction song, was amazing, where he just went on, he was just like rapping on an acapella, kind of like bringing you into the album. Let me just play it a little bit. It starts by Thami, basically. It's kind of like bringing you in.
Lately I've been out here acting crazy. I don't like the person I've become. I hope you know that this is what you made me. Promise me that you would never run, never leave and tell me that you done. I'm the opposite of having fun. So much on my mind it weigh a ton. Schizo nigga with a loaded gun. Energy. I know you are not who you pretend to be.
So that introduction was also amazing, and yeah, it brings you in. It starts off with an acapella, and then as you go on, the beat switches and everything. But on the song, you can hear him that he's found like a new version of himself, and I feel like he feels like the people around him are what built that new version of himself. But yeah, I was saying like the features Lift Me Up with Nasty C and Zoocci Coke Dope was amazing. Blxckie did an amazing job. Nasty C also did an amazing job.
Yeah, Zoocci Coke, yeah. Coke, yeah. Think you fucking with me, boy, you gotta be on coke. These bitches looking like some wine bottles, not coke. It can trick you staying humble when you're great, but I coke. It can trick you, I coke. It can trick you, I coke. 10-piece, asking me respectfully, like, do I have a problem if she spend a check on me? I don't. And yeah, she fuck with my trajectory. I told her bring a friend, I got a friend with me. It's me and Zoocci Coke, yeah. Think you fucking with me, boy, you gotta be on coke. These bitches looking like some wine bottles, not coke. It can trick you staying humble when you're great, but I coke. It can trick you, I coke. It can trick you, I coke.
His verse was so creative, and yeah, there's always like that humor normally with Nasty C's verse. Like you hear him saying, your girl is a wine bottle in terms of like the shape, and his girl is Coke, like it's a nice shape basically. And then you go on to songs like Plus, which is one of the songs that almost made me cry, featuring Mars Baby and Lazy Zamar, which was an amazing song, probably part of my top 2 favorite songs on the album. They had incredible vocals, incredible writing, and overall it was just like an amazing song. Just listen to how beautiful this song is.
Would have never made it this far. High like NASA. I'ma say that I'm a superstar. We would have never made it this far. We would have never made it this far. I swear I couldn't believe it. Yeah. Back when you broke my heart, I never gave you a reason. And I could never ever do you wrong. I hope you know that I mean it. Yeah. If you really wanna leave, you could leave. I've been feeling defeated. It's not a wonderful feeling.
What a beautiful look, man.
Like a character.
Now for when Lady Zamar comes in, beautiful. Lady Zamar had an amazing
This
vocal.
far.
You were happy, I was down. How to feel heaven and hell. Saying I'm cold in the heat of the sun. Tintin come, Tintin fun. Little drama boys drum. Beat to the tune of your sound. I was blinded by Lucifer's sun. How does the morning star survive? Every day is the northern lights. Fly away, no Peter Pan.
Baby Mars.
Let the city
Mars
in
Baby.
review. Kick back in my carry-on. Whole life in a suitcase. Cause I'm tryna be a rock star. This life is the moments we have at arrivals. The time in between that I'm feeling the seas. Walking dead out in these streets. Been fucking around but I keep that speed. But you know you're my sunshine. And I've been living in the dark. Never meant to leave so
Piano.
long.
It has this
But you
nostalgia
swear that
feel.
it's alright.
Beautiful song. I've been playing this over and over and over again because it's that beautiful. But yeah, the features were amazing, and then you go to Tellaman Stogie T's contribution on the album, which was also great. So yeah, the features were great, the production was amazing, the skits also like carried and contributed towards like the main theme of the album, talking about anxiety and all these things. And then also talking about features, Zoocci, the clip with like Zoocci Coke Dope's mother at the end was what sums up the album so nicely. But yeah, when you listen to this album, you can tell that he's now like more confident in himself, and he's decided to let go of the things that are bringing him down, and he's learned to deal with like anxiety, deal with things that bring him down and put him in like a dark space. And all these things resulted in him elevating and becoming a better version of himself. If you look at the music video for Toxic, you see him in like a cage, and then there's women around the cage. and they can't get in. They're trying to reach him, so it's like him blocking out all the negativity, blocking out all the things that he knows will bring him down, all the things that contribute towards the declining of his mental health, basically, and the things that make him become a lower version or like a terrible version of himself, and like put him in a dark space, basically. And then in the music video, you proceed to see two guys being pinned down by women. One looks dead and one looks almost dead, but the women are wearing masks, and then they're pinning him down, and then he's just in the middle. There's no woman around him, so you can look at that as like a version of himself being put down, because they allow those external factors that affect their mental health, that affect their well-being, to put them down, basically. But he's not put down by those things, because he's learned to like cancel out all those things and make sure that they don't interfere with his mental health. So yeah, it was a great album, great conceptual album. Even though it was short, it's still enjoyable, it's still amazing. He did a great job. It's one of the best projects I feel like came out this year and in a long time. So yeah, it was really enjoyable. It was an honor being part of the main performance for the listening session and everything, and working with Zoocci Coke Dope. But yeah, overall it was an amazing album. I'm definitely gonna listen to this more and more. But yeah, this is just a summary of my thoughts on the album. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about the album, if you like it, what's your favorite song and everything. But yeah, that's all for me. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.